That might be it. Okay. Yeah, I really do want to start now. I really do want to start now. We've had a lot of labs and classwork assignments in this unit, and you've got 2 post-labs due next Wednesday, and this population debate that I dropped on you yesterday. So I just want to check in, because these are all like,
It's a lot of work.
there's the usual timeline stuff, like 6.1, 6.3, but as we move on into units, you'll get more and more of these like separate assignments that have independent directions. I just want to make sure that nobody's confused, that nobody's been left behind, that I didn't fail to clarify some whatever. I am available to make sure you're caught up, because I know how it goes. This is the last unit in the first semester. You all are probably doing everything you can to get that last couple of %. And I want to be here so that I can say I helped you. So does anybody have any questions at all about any of these assignments, papers, due dates, those labs, how process?
So both of us have to do on Wednesday?
That's right. Yes?
Can you do a little dance?
No, I cannot. I did not dance at my own wedding.
Are you serious?
My, yeah, that's right. You know, you give them an inch and take a yard. Yeah, I pretty much ruined my wife's wedding.
After your just like perfect proposal, you know.
Yeah,
Really kind of just blew the entire thing.
more than a decade of disappointment. From before day one, nothing but disappointment. Oh, I roll. At least I'm reliable.
Yes.
I think you know what to expect from me. Nothing but disappointment. Don't get your hopes up. My poor wife. Such an ass. I hate me. Okay. So no dancing, but are there any other questions about the Unit 6 stuff? Okay. Did anybody see the movie last night?
Yes.
And thoughts?
The photography was really cool, and along with like the like long shots of the sweatshops, that was also nice.
I liked it. I thought it was really interesting.
That, I believe it was entirely shot in China, except when they went to the graveyard for the dictatorships. Any other feedback, good or bad? Like, did I overemphasize the boringness of the film?
It's pretty boring.
It was pretty flat in that sense. Okay. No other feedback? Anybody have questions, thoughts based on that film? Yeah? Okay. What is your unrelated question?
6.4, is it as short as it seems because the study goals not much roadmap, or is there like, is one of the study goals way longer than it seems?
Can you just tell me the numbers?
60 through 63. Study goals.
60 for me is a long one. It's like 2 pages in my notes. 61 is brief. 62 is mellow. 63 is like 6 bullets in my notes. You know, I have to make lecture notes, so obviously mine are going to be a little lengthier than yours, but no, I think that it might be that easy. Might be that easy. Anybody else? Yeah.
When you said 60 was 2 pages, like front and back, like unpaid?
Do it. I'm going to go with what William just said. Who do you may know as Bedu? A series? Alright. If you didn't hear him, he said your best. Okay. And no, mine are not double second. I want to talk about 6.1 today, and ideally we'll finish the whole assignment. Please take out your 6.1. doing that during the unit. Because in some classes, there's a distinct, like, no stars, instant knucklehead effect. And I don't want everybody to blow off the other stuff.
So I've heard that really non-RO freedivers have ways to force air down to get a little bit more oxygen into their lung capacity. So like you're supposed to get like fetal stage to like get the most circulatory efficiency. So like you're supposed to float on the surface until your heart rate gets as low as you can. And then you take like big breaths, saturate, wait like 15 seconds, exhale, big breath, saturate your blood, exhale, big breath, saturate your blood, exhale. And then when you take your last big breath, you're supposed to go like, swallow that. It's a little bit more to get down there, because as soon as you start to draw up, the pressure, squeezes your lungs, and you have to hold it in as hard. So, one of my friends, the guy whose brother shot that giant swordfish that I showed people cell phone photos, he like practiced with this, so we'll be like hanging out, talking about stuff, and I'll look over and he's like, like, bro, I'm trying to have dinner with my kids, can you kick back for a minute? He's like, sorry, man, working out.
You have the luckiest friends.
I do have the wackiest friends. I have a lot of friends. I'm so lucky. Because I am a total ass. And somehow I have like a giant network of like rock star amazing friends. Yeah, that might be it. All right. In assignment 6.1, there are 4 different limiting factors in the vocab, and I want to add 2 more terms relevant to that. First of all, limiting factors are anything that slows your population's growth. Limiting factors slow population growth. Most of you know already that a population will grow exponentially until it starts to hit the walls, so to speak. Until it starts to find some limitations on its expansion. All of a sudden, we're running out of food, we're running out of water, running out of habitat. And you eventually reach what's called K, or the carrying capacity. The limiting factors are the things which cap your population. Maybe you've run out of dirt. Maybe a bacteria has run out of agar. Maybe the termites have run out of lumber, whatever. So you have what's called the J curve. Then you have the slowing of the rate of growth. So that's change in the rate of change for all of you calculus types. And then you have the leveling out. Limiting factors have been reached. Carrying capacities identified when the population stops growing. Yes.
So, those weird beetles that are in the Sierras that are eating all the pine trees,
Yeah.
will eventually get K.
Well, yeah. Yep. Yeah,
It's going to come back here. Right?
Yeah, that's not going to say pine trees.
So they'll eventually balance each other out. Eventually.
They'll eat all the pine trees and then the limiting factor is there's no more pine trees.
So anyway, right.
But they eventually make it.
No, they eventually take out all the pine trees.
Look, look. The right answer is, who knows, man? Okay. Because some predator-prey relationships are self-regulating, the one thing that's really deadly is if their life cycles are on a totally different rhythm. The reason that they will not self-regulate, that they will not reach some sort of a standoff, is that the life cycle of a tree is much, much longer than the life cycle of a beetle. So the beetle population explosion
a trillion extra beetles if there's no trees.
Well, yeah, exactly. So you get a couple of trees growing, and then that first one will make a trillion babies. That will get all the extra pine trees.
Right.
If they had more similar life cycles, then it's true. The drop in pine trees would have a drop in pine beetles, which would have a rise in pine trees, which would be followed by a rise in pine beetles. But that assumes that they have the same up and down cycle.
Which they don't.
Which they don't. Trees have an up and down cycle like this. Beetles have an up and down cycle like that. You did?
Yes.
Back to limiting factors. Extrinsic and intrinsic, you probably understand, are things which stop your population growth either inside the population, intrinsic, or outside the population, extrinsic. Biotic or abiotic, easy. Living or not living. Lightning strike is abiotic. Parasitic illness is biotic. But this is the vocab I'd like to add in 6.1. Density dependent or density independent limiting factors. There's a hyphen there. Is that a hyphen, by the way? That's punctuation. That's a hyphen? Yeah. In my country, we don't have. Yeah, dude. Density-dependent limiting factors are things which slow the growth of your population only when you get to be at a certain level of crowding. If you have a couple of humans hunting and gathering on a migratory rotation through the savannah, chances are disease is not going to be a big problem for that couple of humans. Matter of fact, you go to like a corn belt, and you may notice that they've got a much lower incidence of flu and cold because they're just not that packed together. They're at a low density. Flu and cold only affect population growth where people are really crowded. Density dependent. Or conflict. If people are spread out, they got nothing to fight about. So warfare only limits the growth of your population when you get to a certain density. You got to be close enough to fight over land and food or something to have a problem with warfare, starvation, or illness. On the other hand, no matter how many humans you've got around, you've got roughly the same chances of being struck by lightning, killed by a tidal wave, roughly the same chances of suffering the impact of some climate calamity. So we call these density dependent because those are worse when you're crowded, or density independent because they are not affected by crowding. Questions about any other vocab in this assignment? So you'll notice that in this unit, I'm starting with the reading packet because I think that there's just a bunch of interesting thoughts to discuss and only a few things that I put in the reading packet because they weren't well enough covered in your book. This is mostly socio-political, economic commentary with a little tiny bit of ecology thrown in. Study Goal 26